Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the Breitling Superocean Heritage B20 automatic 42mm and the Tudor Black Bay 58. The Breitling was kindly lent in by Saltzman's Watches, so please go pay them a visit on their Instagram account and check out their website. I'll leave a link in the description below to both of those. And this watch I've had in my collection, I would say about a year now. It's maybe even a little over a year. This is probably it's one of my favorites, if not my favorite watch in my collection. So hopefully that won't sway this comparison video here. But I really don't provide my opinion all that much in these anyway. Just going over the measurements and comparing and contrasting these watches. So the Breitling Superocean is $5,250. And the Tudor Black Bay is $3,800 today. I think when I bought it, it was $3,700. But anyway, here's a quick look at these. Both of these are vintage inspired, and you can get a sense of the kind of the patina loom on the Black Bay 58. You know, it was months. I think I owned this watch for 6 months, 8 months until I realized it actually had this fake patina loom. But yeah, anyway, I really like this watch. So they both have sapphire crystal. They're both domed. The Tudor Black Bay 58 is a box dome sapphire crystal, kind of meant to look like an acrylic crystal. There we go. The Breitling Superocean Heritage has a ceramic bezel insert, and the Tudor Black Bay, the Tudor, has an aluminum bezel insert. Again, keeping with that vintage vibe. You can see how shiny this bezel is versus the matte finish on the Tudor. They are both 316L stainless steel. Breitling has a date, of course. Black Bay does not. I really like no date watches. Something these actually do have in common is they're both powered by a Tudor movement. Now this is an in-house Tudor movement. This one, I don't know how you think about it or consider it, but this has been called an in-house movement. This movement that is in here is made specifically for the Breitling and only used for the Breitling watches, so I think that's why they call it in-house. But it is based on the Tudor MT5612 movement, which is good for 70 hours of power reserve. It is COSC certified, so -4 plus 6 seconds per day accuracy. And the Tudor Black Bay 58 has the MT502 movement, again 70 hours of power reserve, and also COSC certified, so that means -4 plus 6 seconds per day accuracy. And I said it before, I'll say it again, accuracy on a mechanical watch, it doesn't really matter to me too much, as long as it's not way off. But really hard to beat the -4 plus 6. It's quite impressive actually if you think about it. So since this watch is on loan, I can't take the plastic off, but it is a polished finish all the way around the case here. One other note to mention about the bezel, the bezel on this one is it's retained with screws, so it's not a friction bezel, so this bezel is not going to pop off on you. If you do get it to pop off, you've really done something wrong. Also, you can see on here, this has anti-reflective coating. It's making the black dial appear blue in some certain lights, certain angles. 120 click bezel. Action feels fine to me. And then Black Bay 58 has a 60 click bezel. When I picked it up, it's quite a bit lighter than that one, so kind of threw me off a little bit. The bezel action on this is just wonderful. Yeah, very nice. So you can see this is polished on the sides, brushed on the tops, and then you have a polished chamfer there. You can see it's taken on some, we'll call it patina. It's got some scuffs and some scratches on it. And I'm pretty gentle with this watch. They just kind of magically appear. Or I guess I brushed up against something and don't realize it. I really like the look of a dive watch without crown guards, and both of these have that. This one does have a little bit larger of a crown. It's signed with the Tudor rose, and of course it's screw down. And this is a screw down crown as well, signed with the Breitling B. These are both rated to 200 meters water resistance. And this one is quite a bit thinner. So we'll talk about the dimensions in a moment here. Actually, we'll talk about them right now. We're to that point of the video. So let's talk about the Breitling first. Set my Tudor over here. So we're looking at 51.5 millimeter lug to lug, 42 millimeter bezel diameter. It is pretty well flush with the case size here, but very easy to use the bezel as you just saw me using it there. 14.4 millimeter thick, so it is a bit of a thick watch, but kind of sinks down on the wrist. I'll show you that in a moment with this conical shape here. 22 millimeter lug width, and believe it or not, this mesh bracelet does taper. It tapers down to 18 millimeters, so 4 millimeter differential there. And it does have, as you can see here, it does have removable links, which blew me away in the unboxing video for this watch. I was not expecting that at all. They almost disappear. These are machined links. You can see the screw heads there. So very neat. I'll show you the case back here. Oh, you know what? Let's talk about the rest of the dimensions. Let's finish that out before I forget. 6.7 millimeter signed crown, and with all the links in it, this thing weighs in at 173 grams, so it is pretty heavy. I can't imagine these links weigh all that much. A lot of weight up here in the case head. You can kind of feel it with the balance point here. So let's get this. Actually, let's talk about the bracelet. So it's mesh. Nice mesh bracelet, and you do have those 6 micro adjust in here, which you can't see from the outside, but right there you have those depressions. So very neat system. Probably not the easiest thing to size, but it shouldn't be too difficult. You have some nice slots in there to get to the heads of the spring bars. Okay, let's talk about my favorite watch. One of my favorite watches, the dimensions here. Looking at 47.7 millimeter lug to lug, and these are negative end links, so that is your true lug to lug. The end links are actually inside even further than the points of the lugs here. 39 millimeter bezel diameter, 12 millimeter thickness, and 20 millimeter lug width, which does taper down to 16. And we have a 6.7 millimeter crown, so actually the same crown diameter as the Breitling. It just looks a little bit larger to me, probably because it's shorter. No, definitely look like the same diameter. And size for my 6.5 inch wrist, we're looking at 132 grams. So this watch is almost near perfect. The only thing I don't care for is the fit. Actually, I have the Uncle Seiko half link in here, so that helped a lot. But you only get these 3 micro adjusts. We really like to have a tool-less quick adjustment here, kind of like the Rolex Glide Lock or the Tudor T-Fit system. Hopefully Tudor will offer some kind of a clasp retrofit to upgrade this clasp on my watch here instead of having to buy a whole new one, a whole new watch that is. So we'll see, maybe one day. But solid, we have solid end links, solid links, fake rivets, and this bracelet does taper, as I mentioned, but it's kind of a stair step. It doesn't come down seamlessly, so each of these links gradually are smaller in width here. They're all brushed, polished on the sides, brushed on the top. you have not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate it, and it greatly helps me out. Also hit the notification bell if you have not already. Kind of a plain case back. I mean, there is a little more text on here than what you see on the back of a Rolex. And I'll show you the Breitling case back, and then we'll try both of these, show them both on wrist here. And then we'll get to the lume. I'm certain the Tudor will have better lume than the Breitling. There's really not much surface area on the indices of the Breitling Superocean, but you do have these really nice polished indices. So you can see around the perimeter here, these little dots. So you don't have one at 45, 15, 30, or 60. But you do see the applied indices and the applied logo here. And of course we have the date down there at 6 o'clock. I know these aren't lumed, but I wonder if they're platinum filled like the Submariner. Interesting to think about there. Okay, let's look at the Tudor real quick, and then we'll get these on wrist. So again, applied indices, but this does have a printed logo. A snowflake hand. I know some folks really don't like it, and other folks really like it. It doesn't matter to me either way, really. Just something to differentiate the hour hand from the minute hand, other than the length of the hands. So let me put this one on wrist first, since I have it in hand. And actually, this one will fit my wrist better than the other one. I have a 6.5 inch wrist with a 52 millimeter wristband. Again, lug to lug on this one is 47.7. I think it's just a perfect size for my wrist. You know, it's funny because, I don't know, say maybe 5 years ago, or maybe even before I got this, no, probably about 3 years ago and longer, I never really cared for gold and black. But ever since getting a Zelos that had the gold and black, I really enjoyed the color combination. So, it's among my favorite combinations of color now, colorways for a watch, I should say. Okay, here we go with the Superocean. It's kind of just a friction fit clasp here. And this portion here engages with that slot right there. The Tudor has ceramic ball bearings that lock it in place, but they both do have a safety clasp. So neither of these are coming off your wrist, unless you want them to. So there we go. This is a little bit larger. Well, 3 millimeters larger, 42 versus 39 millimeter diameter, and then the lugs on this one 51.5 versus 47.7. So it's about a 4 millimeter difference, I guess, if my quick math is correct. Probably not, but we'll say it is. So let me know which of these watches you like better. Leave that down in the comment section, and we'll take a look at the lume. Okay, so here we have the lume. The Breitling, of course, is in my left hand, and my Tudor is in the right hand here. Tudor blows it away for lume, but just to give you a quick look at it here. It looks, the Breitling is a lot easier to see on the camera here, the lume that is, but by eye it's, I mean, they're just small lume pips. So if you want to check the time at night, definitely go with the Tudor. That will conclude this video presentation. As always, thank you for your time, and thank you for watching.